versus Conor McGregor, and Dana shut it down. He said, no, listen, that was 2 years ago. It's passed by.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see like that as like a realistic thing happening?
No, I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's nothing you'd entertain for the White House.
No.
Poor old Michael Chandler sat on the sidelines like a good little boy, like McGregor called him, said, you'll do as you're told.
You want to do 185, I'll do 185.
You'll do what you're told.
And he did. He sat around and he waited and some more. Didn't get it. Fought Paddy Pimblett in the meantime.
Forget waiting your turn. That's a lie sold to the weak. While some were sitting pretty, hoping for a call, Conor McGregor was already 3 steps ahead. Not just in the gym, but in the boardroom. He doesn't wait for opportunity, he manufactures it. Empty line, empty line, empty line. You want to know what truly separates the contenders from the champions? It's not just the fists, it's the fight IQ outside the cage. McGregor's camp isn't just about sweat, it's about power. He's not training for a specific opponent. He's training to control the entire damn narrative. Burn that into your brain.
I'll be there in Vegas for that, and there's a lot of content coming your way about that. But anyway, so Michael Chandler is out of the equation. Who's it gonna be? Because I do believe that Conor McGregor will be on the White House card, okay? As we know, McGregor has been at the White House himself recently. Last year, showed up a couple of times. He was on Fox Sports or Fox News talking about it, saying, it's a done deal. I will be fighting at the White House.
Is this a done deal? You're in?
Done
You made
deal,
a deal?
signed, delivered. It ain't a negotiation.
Wow.
It's a done deal, signed, delivered. McGregor will compete in the White House.
And as we know, Conor McGregor, who recently got married, who's kind of had a transformation.
When McGregor declares done deals for the White House, he's not talking. He's forging that reality. This isn't just a stage. It's one he's willed into existence. And right now, inside that camp with Eoin Sheridan, he's grinding his teeth to back it up. That's a champion's mind. But here's the brutal truth you're missing. The biggest fights are won in the darkness of that training room, not under stadium lights. He's not just showing up, he's fighting to reclaim everything. You underestimate that warrior spirit at your peril.
Saved, I am healed.
Hey, fair play to the guy. Fair play to the guy. And I'll tell you what, when you do see clips of him online, he does look healthier, he does look less puffy, and you do see clips of him out there training. So the man's getting ready for something. And a lot of people, because obviously I have a podcast, and we'll be back on Monday, by the way, me and Felder, so tune in for that. A lot of people are like, yeah, McGregor's done, McGregor's done. Listen, a lot can change. The man's still only, I think he's 37 years old, okay? So he's not like he's that old yet. Yeah, he's at the tail end of his career, even though like Mike Tyson, he said he wants to do this for the rest of his life. He's at the tail end of his career, but 3 years, 4 years away, right? A lot can change if you lock in, if you get disciplined, if you get rid of all the bad habits, if you abandon all the yes men, if you get rid of all the distractions and you get in the gym. It's not unthinkable to think that Conor McGregor...
You hear the whispers, the talk of McGregor being done. But look closely, really look at what's happening inside that camp with Sheridan. That isn't just sweat, that's the ego burning away. The fat of distraction getting stripped. This isn't about looking healthy for a public appearance. It's about a man trying to remember how to be a weapon. Because here's the truth. The octagon doesn't care about your past titles or your bank account. It demands your soul every single second. You can train with PFL guys, you can shake hands at the White House, but if you don't reconnect with that cold, unyielding fire inside you, that primal fight IQ, you're just another contender. Champions, they claw their way back from the abyss, not just from injury, but from the comforts of success itself. The question is, does he still have that hunger?
And the trash talk and all the rest of it, and the swagger and the confidence that he had, and the humor and the one-liners, you put it all together, the man became the biggest star that the sport's ever seen. 4 years away, I think it is, or 5 years, whatever it is. It's been a long time, and he broke his leg, but he's back training, he's back in the gym. And I tell you what, right, me and McGregor, we've gone head to head. We've talked a bit of shit over the years, but you can't deny the talent the man had. And if he locks in and he's disciplined, you can get almost back to that, if not totally back to that. And Jorge Masvidal is out here, he's teasing something big coming up soon.
All right, listen up. Forget the charisma, forget the bravado. When you see McGregor back in the gym drilling with someone like Eoin Sheridan, this isn't about old headlines. This is a man staring down the brutal reality of his own body, his own legacy. This isn't just training, this is the grim calculus of a comeback. You want to know what truly separates a star from a champion? It's not just discipline, it's the humility to go back to the grindstone in silence. It's the willingness to rebuild fight IQ from the ground up, because the octagon gives zero respect to your highlight reel. It demands a renewed warrior spirit, forged in the dark. That's the truth you need to burn into your brain.
Even Chael Sonnen was talking about it. And as I said, when you look at Jorge Masvidal and the career that he's had, and then you remember Jorge Masvidal has been a massive supporter of Donald Trump. I think he's spoken publicly at rallies for Donald Trump as well. So he's certainly in the good graces of the Trump family, right? And they're the kind of people that they're going to want at the White House. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal.
You hear the chatter, Masvidal's connections, the White House event, all the political noise swirling around McGregor. But understand this, when the cage door closes, none of that matters. The octagon doesn't give a damn about your endorsements. It demands raw, unyielding warrior spirit forged in absolute brutal reality. This is the ultimate test of fight IQ. Can you stay sharp, laser-focused, while the world speculates on a celebrity handshake? You see Conor in camp. True champions never turn off that switch. The real fight isn't always inside the cage, but the readiness for it must always be. Burn that into your brain.
He's not a natural 170, and Jorge Masvidal has fought at 155, but also finished his career at 170. He did fight for the belt. He did have the fastest knockout in history. He absolutely destroyed Nate Diaz when he became the first BMF. I mean, if you go back to 2019, that was the coming out party for Jorge Masvidal. Remember, shocked the world, knocked out Darren Till at the O2 Arena, knocked out Ben Askren in what was it, 5 seconds, and then put a beat down on Nate Diaz, became the BMF, as I said. Now granted, 2019,
Forget natural weight classes for a second. What Masvidal showed you in that seismic 2019 run at 170, that wasn't some gift. It was the chilling efficiency of a killer who mastered his moment, regardless of the scale. That's not just talent, that's an assassin forged in the fire of absolute purpose and brutal, calculated intent. You think it's about fight night? Nah. The real war, the one that carves legends and earns White House invitations, that's fought in the dark, in the grind of camp, long before the lights ever hit. It's the relentless, surgical obsession behind those closed doors that makes history. That's the difference. Understand?
Lost in a rematch again to Kamaru-Usman. This time he got knocked out cold. He lost to Colby Covington. He was like, floating around, one of the top contenders forever. He was there fighting Kamaru-Usman for the belt on a couple of occasions. And I think just recently, Colby Covington finally is out of the rankings. I know Dana was asked about that, and he said, yeah, it didn't really make sense.
How does a guy like that stay in the top 15 for years after not fighting?
It's a great point.
In fact, if I just look at the MMA rankings right now, let me just see.
You want to know the brutal truth? The moment you stop grinding, the moment you lean on past glory, the sport devours you. Inactivity isn't rest. It's a slow, agonizing fade. The rankings, a living, breathing beast with zero memory for yesterday's heroes who aren't bleeding today. The real separator, it's the relentless, everyday war you wage outside the octagon. That's why a true warrior like McGregor is in the lab with Eoin Sheridan. He knows this game doesn't just pass you by, it erases you if you don't earn your spot every single damn day.
Number 15 is Daniel Rodriguez. Number 14, Colby Covington. Anyway, so whatever. I'm going off on a tangent here. Let's get back to Masvidal. So Masvidal's coming back, right? He's teasing something big. He's talking to a lot of people. He's messaged me with his manager a couple of weeks ago about coming on the podcast. Hopefully he's going to come on this week. If not this week, he's going to come on soon. We were talking about it recently because he wants to announce something. Now, obviously...
You hear that rumble? That ain't just Masvidal talking. That's the echo of a warrior's spirit refusing to die. It's the primal scream of a fighter called back to the grind. Because in this brutal sport, the real ones, they never truly walk away. They just sharpen their blades. And that's the savage truth you're missing. While others chase headlines, guys like McGregor are already in the trenches, grinding day in, day out. It's not just about the fight, it's about the obsession. That relentless, unforgiving commitment separates the pretenders from the undeniable legends. The octagon demands it. Always be ready, because it never forgets.
and then just glide out of it.
Leon was the former champ, came back again and got beaten by Carlos Prates, sadly. So Leon's looking for a big fight, and certainly there's a backstory there. But Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal, that makes all the sense in the world, because for McGregor coming back, he's the big star. They want him to win. Simple as that. They do. The sport of mixed martial arts is a better place with stars like Conor McGregor involved. Of course, the White House, being the magnitude of the event that it is, it sells itself. It doesn't need Conor McGregor. It doesn't need John Jones or Alex Pereira or anything like that. But because it is the White House, they want to put on a spectacular event.
They talk about star power, about the UFC wanting McGregor to win. That's a fool's gold promise in this sport. Listen to me. The White House's event demands a warrior, not just a name. You step into that octagon, and the magnitude of the moment will expose every single shortcut, every missed rep from this camp. This isn't about marketing, this is about survival. A star's name might get him the shot, but it's the brutal, grinding hours, that sacrifice inside camp with a true training partner like Eoin Sheridan, that separates a true champion from a fading spectacle. You gotta earn it all over again, every single time. That's the brutal truth.
It live. It'll be one of the most watched sporting occasions that the world has ever seen, okay? So, of course, the UFC want to put on entertaining fighters. And I tell you what, Masvidal is entertaining.
The UFC demands that explosive entertainment, that viral moment. But you've got to understand, true champions, the ones who become legends, they aren't just showmen. They're forged in the brutal, unseen grind of camp. You see the McGregor spectacle, the undeniable draw. What you miss is the savage focus, the relentless drilling with guys like Eoin Sheridan, sharpening every weapon. That's where championship fight IQ is forged, where the warrior spirit is hammered into existence. Entertainment is the hook, but raw, brutal preparation, that's the hammer separating contenders from immortals. Burn that into your brain.
And we know Masvidal's going to stand there. They're going to go toe-to-toe. They're going to dance in the octagon. They're going to put on a show for everyone involved. Donald Trump would love it. The UFC would love it. And you know what? Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal, the first ever BMF, the owner of the fastest knockout in the history of the sport, and one of the, not only because he was the title of the BMF, he is a real-life BMF. Remember, he was fighting in the backyard brawls with Kimbo Slice back in the day. I nearly got into a fight with him when I fought at Madison Square Garden because the guy is cut from that cloth. Go away, you punk bitch. Look at you. You're a fucking punk.
Forget the belts. That clip? It wasn't about a name. It was about the cloth. That raw, untamed spirit forged in backyard brawls and pure hunger. That's the brutal reality of this game, the absolute core of a champion. You feel that in your bones? You think McGregor, after all this, just walks in? No. He's with Eoin Sheridan, not just drilling. He's rekindling that fire, stripping back to that primal warrior. Because on that stage, against anyone, skill isn't enough. You win with an unshakable will, a BMF spirit that screams not today. Burn that into your damn mind.
The BMF, and I'll tell you what, if Conor McGregor isn't going to fight Michael Chandler because they have moved on, and I understand that, I think Jorge Masvidal is a very good next option. But what do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section, because when I'm looking at the rankings, it isn't going to be someone like Islam Makhachev or Jack Della Maddalena. It certainly isn't going to be Shavkat or Ian Machado or Gary. Michael Morales, Bilal Muhammad, Carlos Prates. You know, I don't think any of those. It'd be someone, it'd be a throwback. It'd be a nostalgic fight that the fans wish they got.
Conor chasing Masvidal for the BMF belt. You call it nostalgia. I call it a brutal test of what's left. Forget the rankings. This isn't about climbing ladders. It's about pure, unadulterated fight. But let me tell you, training with a PFL welterweight, hitting those pads, you don't do that for a memory. You do it because the warrior's spirit demands it. Even a nostalgic brawl can expose the fakes. He's proving to himself if that killer instinct still burns for any fire.
Back in the day, a Masvidal versus McGregor, that ticks all the boxes. So what do you think? Is that the fight we see at the White House? Is that the guy that gets his hands on McGregor when he makes his long-awaited return? Anyway, I just got back from Tbilisi, Georgia. 28 hours on a flight. Unbelievable country. Thank you to everyone in Tbilisi that took care of me. Big shout out to Nika, all the people at the Stamba Hotel. That hotel is incredible. Also the Telegraph Hotel. Thank you very much. the people, the food was unbelievable. The weather was pretty good as well. Georgia, thank you very much. I went to Marab's birthday party. That was a lot of fun as well, and got to really...
Forget the dream matchups, the White House hype. That's just noise. The brutal truth of Conor McGregor's return. The only thing that matters is happening behind closed doors right now. He's not just training, he's bringing in fresh wolves like these PFL welterweights to break him down and build him back stronger. He's finding out who he really is again. This is where contenders choke and champions are forged, where fight IQ meets sheer will. You think it's about skill? No, it's about enduring the brutality of camp. Every single damn day, you show me a fighter comfortable in the gym, and I'll show you a man who's already lost the war before the first punch is thrown. This isn't preparation, it's a battle for survival.